Welcome to a night with Roger Federer and friends, a special evening of tennis for charity. You're going to witness a contest that means much more than who wins or loses. Tonight we all have the opportunity to support a great champion whose mission is to make a difference to the lives of disadvantaged children in Southern Africa. This week marks the 10th anniversary of the Roger Federer Foundation, and to celebrate that milestone and to raise much needed funds, Roger's asked his friend Joe-Wilfried Tsonga to play a match with him on Laver Arena. It promises to be a great contest between two tremendous athletes who have entertained us over the years on this very court. There are moments in sport that we all cherish, and then there are moments that go beyond sport. And tonight you're going to witness one of them.
When I won Wimbledon in 2003, 10 years ago now, and I was able to make all this money and have all this fame from sort of one day to the next, for me it was very logical that I should make use of it in a good way. The question is really, what do you want to support, personally? There's many things this world needs help in, and for me it was education. I feel it's not something you can ever take away from anybody. So that was that as a theme, and then the question is, where were we going to support that as much as we could? And for me, Southern Africa was the place to really do it the most, because my mom's South African. I spent a lot of time there as well when I was a kid, and I saw a lot of poverty, and for me it was really something very important to do. And I still feel we're only in the beginning, but we've been able really to see our first results now after all these years, and it sort of really inspires and motivates you to do more, and also maybe to inspire other people to maybe come together and help more. I just think we should do something, and I've seen how successful all those relief efforts have been, when the tennis world came together, and I've done some great things, but never really something away from Switzerland or in a big way somewhere else. So I'm looking forward to the day where I'm going to be able to step on Laver Arena and do it.
Roger Federer, ladies and gentlemen. When you want something special, he's the man. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Sylvie Palladino.
Deep within each heart there lies a magic spark that lights the fire of our imagination. And since the dawn of man, the strength of just I can has brought together people of all nations. Ordinary living of each day, there's a special part every one of us will play. Feel the flame forever burn, teaching lessons we must learn to bring us closer to the power of the dream. As the world gives us its best to stand apart from all the rest, it is the power of the dream that brings us here. Take you far, the rest is just your heart. You'll find your fate is all in your creation. And every boy and girl, as they come into this world, they bring the gift of hope and inspiration. Feel the flame forever burn, teaching lessons we must learn to bring us closer to the power of the dream. The world unites in hope and peace. We pray that you'll always be It's the moment that you think you can't, you'll discover that you can. Feel the fly. Teach us as we must learn to bring us closer to the power of the dream. The world unites in hope and peace. We pray that we will always be. It is the power of the dream that brings us here. Feel the flame forever burn. Teach us as we must learn to bring us closer to the power of the dream. The world unites in hope and peace. We pray that you will always be. It is the power of the dream that brings us here. The dream brings us here. Lord, is to embrace your dreams. No matter where you are, reach for your own star. To realize the power of the dream. To realize the power of the dream.
The beautiful voice of Sylvie Palladino and friends. And there's a shot of Roger Federer inside the sanctum, a rare access to the players' locker room. He's getting ready to take on Joe-Wilfried Tsonga here on the court, where he's won his 4 Australian Opens.
From Switzerland, our new champion for 2004 Australian Open, Roger Federer.
Roger Federer, ladies and gentlemen.
Our champion for 2010, Roger Federer.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Gavin. I'm Glenn. And we're so happy to be part of this evening for you. A little video message from Roger. Roger, who we love so much because outside of tennis, he's such an incredible human being. We love his family, Mirka, the girls, Robbie and Lynette, and obviously the team. This foundation is going to do some incredible work. He's doing incredible work in South Africa. And we urge you to be as generous as possible because he really is setting out to make some great changes there and to educate 1 million kids by 2018, I think it is. So we look forward to seeing you down under. It's the only slam we haven't been to, and we hear it is the greatest slam. So it's
Welcome back to the Laver Arena for an evening with Roger Federer and his friends. Let's meet the first of them. He's the same age as Roger and he's been a rival since they were boys. And that rivalry continues.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you welcome to Laver Arena, Lleyton Hewitt, three-time Grand Slam champion and Australian Davis Cup player extraordinaire.
What a night, Lleyton.
Yeah, fantastic. Great reception, obviously.
That rivalry does continue. I mean, we were all transfixed to the television on Sunday evening when you played Roger in Brisbane. It was a bit of turning back the clock. It was just great stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was for a couple of the older guys out there, but obviously it was a dream for me to go out there and obviously play the Brisbane final against Roger and obviously come up with a big win for me, winning my 29th title out there. But, you know, we share great mutual respect for each other and, no, it was a lot of fun.
It's a night where we are turning back the clock a little. How good's your memory? I mean, do you remember the Davis Cup semi-final on a different coloured court to this 11 years ago?
Yeah, I do. I had sweet memories, obviously coming back from 2 sets to love down and a break in the third and winning in the 5th set to take us through to the Davis Cup final in 2000. I do look a little bit younger there, but no, it was a lot of fun. Roger and I have had a great rivalry over so many years.
And I think you said this night that this was better than winning Wimbledon and the US Open.
Yeah, it obviously means so much. Davis Cup, both Roger and I pride ourselves a lot on obviously playing for our country, so it's a pretty special event.
Well, Joe-Wilfried Tsonga's not too far away. He's getting himself pretty well organised to come out, and there's Joe there, so not a bad view, eh? Thought we'd get a fair reaction,
No, yeah, that's in the locker room behind the scenes, and I've got obviously Joe's going to need a little bit of help out here tonight, so I've got someone special and a bit of a secret weapon for Joe tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Tony Roach, Australian Davis Cup coach and former coach of Roger Federer.
Roachy, great to see you.
Thank you.
You do know Roger so well, as you know, Lleyton. In fact, Roger won 6 of his Grand Slam titles when you were coaching him. You must have a memory or two.
Well, yeah, good memories. I think the time we spent in Dubai training in the 46-degree heat, that was a lot of fun. A good friend of mine played him last week, and it sort of blew his mind because in the warm-up, this is Marinko I'm talking about, he looked over the net and Roger wasn't sweating at all, and I said to Marinko, you should see him in Dubai. He sweats a lot when he's there. But no, we had good times, good training sessions over there, and you know, always remember those times. They were pretty good.
Yeah, we're looking forward to the match tonight. Have you got any words of wisdom for Joe? He might need some.
Well, yeah, he probably will need some. I think 2 things. Pat Rafter never lost to Roger. Maybe Roger was about 16 or 17 when Pat played him. But I want Joe, every time he throws the ball up to serve, I want him to stop and say, sorry, mate. That really gets Roger annoyed. And then once he's got him rattled, I want him to give a few Lleyton Hewitt, come on.
There you go.
It's all over.
No wonder Roachy's been so successful. Tony, I know you've got to go over there and prepare, so good luck tonight with your charge.
Okay, thank you.
He's in pretty good form, is Roachy, as a coach. So, what about our co-star tonight? What a player he is. Absolutely has delighted us over the years, and I'm talking about one of the very, very best.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome back to centre court a 2008 Australian Open finalist, current world number 10, from France, Jo-Wilfried Tsonga.
Great to see you, Joe, and well done in the Hopman Cup, by the way. That was terrific.
Thank you.
Why did you say yes when Roger asked you to play this match with him tonight on Laver Arena?
I didn't accept. He just forced me.
He's that sort of guy, isn't he?
No. I'm really pleased to be here tonight. It's really good for me. But, you know, to help Roger, it's always an honor. So I'm really happy to be here tonight.
And you and Roger have had some epic battles over the year, especially in Grand Slams, and only one here last year that went the distance as well. So what can we expect here tonight?
Yeah, exactly. It's always tough, you know, against him. but I'm sure you have some advice for me.
Yeah, I guess. You know, we play slightly different games. You've got a lot more power, so go out there and use your forehand.
All right.
Hey, Joe, I know you've got to warm up, and we're actually going to give you a bit of a hand, so good luck tonight.
Thank you.
We're going to call on a great mate of Roger Federer's, and he's been mentioned already so far tonight. It's our own Davis Cup captain, Pat Rafter. Where are you, Pat? Hey, Pat, you must miss that every now and then, Pat. Racket in hand, what are your recollections of playing against Roger Federer?
Rochi, that was very mean, mate. What Rochi
Sorry,
said.
mate.
But it was true. He was just out of his nappies. He was a young kid when I first played him at the French Open, and he won the first set against me very easily. And I thought, you little bugger. And I got on top of him, and then, you know, Roger was someone who showed far too much respect for a lot of people, and he was good mates of ours, and he loved hanging out with the Aussies. We tried to corrupt him, but he didn't go that way. And but listen, I don't know how to play him anymore. Ask Leighton. Well, you know how to beat him. I don't know how to beat him.
No, it's not that easy, but Joe's going to have a lot of fun tonight. But Pat, I reckon Roger's only a couple of years away from actually joining you on the Seniors Tour if he turns 35 soon. So you've been actually killing everyone on the Seniors Tour, so I actually want to see him get a little bit of revenge in a couple of years on you.
Well, that means you're only a couple of years away from being on the Seniors Tour.
We might play dubs.
Hey, Pat, enjoy the night. Thank you very much for that. So, Pat Rafter to warm up Joe-Wilfried Tsonga. Tony Roach sitting there ready to coach. And in just a moment, Roger Federer, a champion player and a champion person.
Next month at the Davis Cup. So he's trying to run me around now to get me tired.
Why don't you run him around so he can't play?
Trying to get some tactics here for a week.
Translate, Paddy said, gee, you're a good-looking fella. Now, gentlemen, as they say in the chair, time. Thank Pat Rafter, Jo-Wilfried Tsonga. Having a lot of fun. seniors.
And then, last but not least, I would like to thank Roger and Laver for the trophy.
One of the many great moments here at Laver Arena as we welcome you back to this special night. So let's now meet the man who suggested the idea of a charity match so that the underprivileged children of Africa had a chance of getting an education.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome to Laver Arena, Roger Federer.
It's an incredible response. I mean, just a sellout crowd, Roger, and I know the foundation, 10 years, and it's so near and dear to your heart, isn't it?
Very much so. Thanks for coming. Thanks for making this so special for me, for you guys, for everybody. So I can't be more thankful, and looking forward to another 10 great years, hopefully, for my foundation. And it's just a big night for me, so I'm very nervous, and I hope to perform a good match.
You get nervous?
A little bit. Still do, yes. I care a lot.
Well, no, there's obviously been so many great rivalries, though, we talk about from all our great matches over the years, and we've obviously had a few ourselves. But you ever thought about how would you have gone in a different era, playing possibly Rosewall, Hode, or even Laver?
I guess you dream of those things at night, you know, when you're sleeping and all those things. And Ken Rosewall's backhand would have been amazing. Lou Hode's serve would have been great. And Rod Laver had it all. So, of course, I always see myself losing those matches, you know. But
I reckon you would have gone all right.
Now, Roger, you've got me thinking. Laver had it all and you've got it all. Oh. Craig?
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome to his own arena, Mr. Rod Laver.
Are you ready to warm up?
I am ready to warm up.
Okay.
Are you my warm-up partner?
I'm the warm-up partner.
All right.
Rod.
We're doing this.
There you go. Good luck. Rod, you're going to have a hit.
I'm not sure.
It's your court.
Here we go.
Uh-oh.
You still got it. Thank you, yes. The racket feels a little bit heavy right now, I must say.
It feels like it's too short.
How are the nerves, Roger?
not so good.
Maybe I'm better up here.
I'm just... Yeah.
Too high. Oh.
Thank you so much. Thank you for doing this.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It was such a privilege for me and great pleasure. Thank you, Roger.
Thrilled to be in my
So that's the first time in the world these two great champions have played each other. Eh? It really is a moment to remember. So up next, thanks Rod, Roger takes on the in-form Joe-Wilfried Tsonga, fresh from winning that Hopman Cup.
Folks, just again to remind you why we're here tonight, the two foundations we're raising money for, they are the Roger Federer Foundation and the Australian Tennis Foundation. If you'd like to donate something, allow you to do so. And we'll be back with more as, of course, Roger prepares to do battle with Joe-Wilfried.
If you like, if you want to do a pre-fade. Yep.
Thank you, Blake. We'll be back Thank you, Patrick. Thank you, Roger. Great to see you. Where's the umpire for the coin toss? Folks, Rob will be tossing the coin to decide the choice it ends in this match tonight.
I'm done.
we're going to play best of 3 sets, tie break, and all sets, and we have a Hawkeye. Okay?
We do have it, yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. You want to choose?
No, we'll let...
Okay, Roger.
All right, head. What's the good side? Oh, it's a Swiss coin.
Yeah,
Look
Swiss
at
coin,
that.
yeah.
Heads, please.
So good. It is tails, Joe? Okay. Now make a picture facing the other side over there. Everybody together. Yeah. Yeah, now facing the other side.
Yeah.
There's one over there, yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
So our umpire tonight is Carlos Bernardes, and from Brazil, Leighton, it was just great out there one moment ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was fantastic to be out there. It was just a bit of a surreal feeling, really, for all of us to be there and obviously see that hit as well from Roger and Rod.
So what about tonight? I mean, it's just a great opportunity for both, and they're playing under match conditions, you know, a few days out from the Australian Open.
Yeah, absolutely. I think both guys will be going very hard out here tonight. It's going to be their last real hard hit out, obviously, before the Australian Open starts on Monday. And the draw will come out Friday, and obviously be interesting, these two guys being two of the higher seeds.
Federer at 6 in the world and Tsonga at 10. So Federer in unfamiliar territory really at 6. Talked about his nerves tonight. I mean, he's centre of all attention. He's sort of used to that. But he's human after all. I mean, did you feel any of that on Sunday? I might ask you about that in that first set. But let's talk about Joe for a moment. He's had a lot of injuries. He's had a spectacular career. He hasn't quite got that big major. You know, he's the only current player, Leighton, that has beaten the big four in a Grand Slam. So he's beaten Murray, Federer, Djokovic and Nadal in a Grand Slam. He's the only one of the players.
Well, I think he is a big match player, and that's the biggest strength for Joe, because he's such an explosive player out there. He has major weapons as well, especially with the big first serve and a massive forehand. And he's so athletic around the court. He really can come in and volley, and I think he plays really well on all surfaces.
He's been a finalist here. Of course, he beat Nadal in the semi-final. It was just a remarkable run that he had, and to win over Murray early on. He'd actually played you in Adelaide just prior to that, hadn't he? And we didn't know him that well. And he burst onto the scene. Had a lot of injuries, held him up a bit. And to the great one, 4 times the champion here, 17 majors. He went through a period where he made 10 consecutive Grand Slam finals, winning 8 of them. It was just
all
crazy.
The records he had were amazing, and they were crazy. He was basically rewriting the record books every Grand Slam, and even just making quarterfinals and not feeling sick or being injured. And I'm sure there were days when he wasn't even close to 100%, but he would find a way to get through those matches, and especially over 5 sets, it's not an easy thing to do.
Good conditions. Now, I had a feeling they were going to open the roof, but I can't see that happening at the moment. Can you?
It doesn't look to be opening at the moment, but obviously it'll be pretty humid in here if the roof is closed as well.
Head-to-head, interestingly, they've played 13 times. Roger's won 9. He's actually won 5 of the last 6. They've played a couple of times here. 8 of the 13 matches were all in one season, 2011, which is bizarre. But Joe has a very famous win over Roger, doesn't he?
The big one at Wimbledon, where he was 2 sets to love down and came back and beat Roger, and I think that was the first time.
You'd done it, of course, in the Davis Cup semi-final that we talked about earlier, didn't we?
Yeah, so it doesn't obviously happen too often against Roger. He is such a good front runner, but Joe was just so explosive on that given day.
So that head-to-head record, Tsonga with his 4 wins. Federer's won 3 of the 5 times they've played in majors. So in majors, they've actually played in 1 semi-final and 4 quarterfinals. But Tsonga won their last one. Federer had a string of wins before that. But you do feel going into this match, it's about a 50-50 bet.
Yeah, absolutely. Right at the moment, I'd say. Tsonga had great preparation, though. He looked to be hitting the ball well in an exhibition in the Middle East just before going to the Hopman Cup, and then went undefeated at the Hopman Cup in Perth and played extremely good tennis there. Didn't actually really look like being challenged too much over there. So he's going to be bringing a lot of confidence. I think this is the perfect hit out for him as well. Just 1 match this week and the week before a major.
So he didn't get the win in Brisbane. You denied him of that. It would have disappointed him. Just a quick word from Roger Rashid, who's courtside with us tonight. You know Joe so well, a former coach, and you know Roger oh so well, don't you, Rash?
Yes, and look, some great players, great matches. Obviously with Leighton as well, we had some great matches. You talked about the Davis Cup one. This is going to be pretty exciting. Great crowd, great atmosphere. What a cause.
Well, it's interesting. We already see Joe making his move forward on serve volleying the first point, but then this second one really taking the short forehand and coming forward and finishing it off at the net. And I think that's one of the biggest keys to his game.
Not sure if those nerves are settled just yet.
Ball to Laver. Game to Tsonga.
So a love game for Tsonga.
First serve.
So that moment. And Roger's wife, Merker, who's tearing up a little
looked a bit teary there, yeah. It's obviously...
Rod can do that to the Federers,
yeah,
can't he?
very much so. It happened, obviously, when he presented the trophy a few years back to him after he won his Australian Open.
So Federer to serve. Opening game love for Tsonga, so good start for the Frenchman.
Love thinking.
He's tight, isn't he?
Well, Roger actually laughing with the crowd, actually saying that he hopes he wins a point tonight. He's lost the first 6.
Hardly an empty seat in Laver Arena tonight. He had to scramble for that opening point, but he got it back. One of the things, Leighton, I think on everyone's mind in the last few days, how serious would these two players be tonight? I mean, would they be really fair dinkum? How would they play?
Well, I thought they'd come out here very fair dinkum. I'm playing later in the week, one match at Kooyong as well against Andy Murray, and that's our last proper hit out before obviously the first major. And for these guys to play in these conditions, Roger will obviously have a very good chance of playing night matches as well. So it's perfect preparation.
Okay.
So after a shaky start, it's 1-1.
And they are opening the roof there, so it's a nice night outside.
We thought they would. So, and if you'd like to support Roger's foundation, just donate. There's how you can do it. iff.tennis.com.au. Really worthy cause, something he's very passionate about. He started it actually very, very late 2003, beginning of 2004, before he'd won his first Australian Open, before he'd actually got to world #1. And Roger Rashida's courtside's in a unique position tonight because he actually was preparing Tsonga when they played the 5-setter here last year, and then prepared Tsonga, was coaching him when he beat Roger at Roland Garros in 2013. So, Roger, you'll have a real insight of how you went about trying to dismantle Federer.
Yeah, it's good when you get, as Leighton knows, when you get the win against him.
Well, it's not that easy to do. So.
Good tennis there, and Bruce, I've been lucky enough to have some pretty good horses though out there on the court doing the damage. But you know, when we play last year that 5-setter, this is the way these guys played full time. They played very proactive, very aggressive, and it was actually a physical contest from the first ball. Joe makes it extremely physical for you, the way he sort of bludges the ball and takes over the court with his body. He's an extremely big man, as Leighton would know. When he's coming forward, there's not a lot of room around him.
Do you like him coming forward?
Oh, you got to love him moving forward, I think, for sure.
Well, I think that's the real damaging shot for Tsonga, because if he's hitting his backhand well, then his whole game sort of comes together. His forehand is always pretty much on song, and he's got such a big first serve, but a great second serve as well. That's very hard to do anything as an opponent to put him under pressure.
So, Leighton, is that his weaker side, the backhand?
Definitely his weaker side out of the two. He's worked on it a lot, though, for a number of years now. And when he first came on the tour and he had his breakthrough, he would make some, but he'd obviously make quite a few errors on that wing. His forehand has also, you know, it's always been so explosive, especially cross-court. I think the last 2 points you've seen his downfall, and probably why he hasn't gone on and won a major yet. Purely, he's a little bit in and out of matches mentally, I think. And the last two, he serve volleyed on 2 points ago and just played a sloppy half volley. And then obviously there, for a person that moves so well around the net, he was just a bit sloppy with that volley.
So after a shaky start, Federer actually gets the break and leads by 2 games to 1.
Time.
So all smiles, Federer with the break. He lost the opening 6 points. He was a bit almost embarrassed, I think. He was really struggling, wanting a point even. Got that and then got a break. Talked about his nerves when he came out to Leighton 15 minutes ago. There's been so much talked about the court speed in Brisbane and how quick it was and what it would be like in Melbourne. And well, you've had a hit. I know you're hitting with Federer tomorrow, aren't you, here? So be fascinated to see just how quick they are. And are they any quicker than they were last year?
Yeah, well, the courts here in Melbourne are definitely slower than in Brisbane. I think Sydney and Melbourne are probably a more similar pace. I don't think there's a massive difference on last year's court, but the balls are definitely slightly quicker. It's the same brand ball, but an actually new design ball. So it's, I think, a little bit quicker, especially during the day in very hot conditions. Well, these are perfect conditions for both these players tonight. I think they play extremely well under the lights here at Laver Arena for slightly different reasons. Roger, obviously, there's no wind, very little at night, which I think suits his game extremely well because he is such a clean ball striker. And I think Joe-Wilfried, because he is so powerful out there, it is slightly heavier conditions and he can actually hit through the heavier air.
And the roof continues to be open here. And of course, there's been talk about Federer coming in a bit more often with maybe Stefan Edberg. Who has he arrived?
I haven't seen Stefan yet. He wasn't in Brisbane with him, but I practiced with Roger as soon as I got up there to Brisbane, and there were small aspects of spent a little bit of time together. I thought on his volleys he was trying to be a little bit more crisper and actually moving forward more quickly, and obviously that was something that Stefan Edberg was so well known for. And as you can see, Roger's playing with a Wilson racket still, but it's blacked out, and he's actually trying a slightly bigger head shape. So, yeah, he's just trying to adjust a few things. Obviously, technology changes over the years as well.
Good way to hold serve.
Leighton, just with the black frame. Does it surprise you that they didn't get the...
Yeah, I'm amazed.
With a new frame, you guys, you champions, like to see your real racket in your hand.
Yeah, well, you're so used to it, and that, to us, is basically a demo racket. So yeah. It would look different and feel different, obviously, in his hand.
So just give us a bit more on that, Leighton and Roger, about this racket.
Well, I'm sure the cosmetics are nearly exactly the same. I think it's just a slightly different head shape, where the racket, he's always used a very small string pattern. There'd be a very small sweet spot in the middle of the racket. He's going for a little bit bigger. Probably give him slightly more power as well.
He's got a 98-inch frame now, so it's as Leighton said, it's a bigger sweet spot.
And what about the aesthetics, Roger, with the blackness? So just explain that to us again.
If you're one of these players like Leighton, one of the greats who've got, they're used to seeing the same racket in their flight path, the colours, the graphics. Now he's got this racket that's not really Roger Federer's racket yet. It's a different look. It's not part of his whole match day outfit, if you know what I mean. And I think Leighton would agree with that. You like that. Those little things mean a lot to players.
Well, I first noticed when I hit with him in Brisbane that he was using it. I just thought perhaps he's trying it for a couple of days and then he'll obviously go out and play with his normal coloured racket. But that wasn't the case in Brisbane. It hasn't been the case here. So whether he's totally sold on it or not, I'm not sure.
Speaking to him in October in Paris, we were talking about this racket and hadn't quite got the dynamics right. And he said he found a bit more on the backhand side, but didn't quite feel it on the forehand now. So you've got to decide whether you're going to take away your major weapon's still going to be your major weapon with whatever tool you're using.
So the Tsonga serve a bit of a problem here. He's had a couple of double faults already.
Well, that's the flashy Frenchman at his best.
So here's the service direction, Tsonga. So
we don't often give Roger Federer that much credit, I think, for his return of serve, but he does make you play so many balls out there by chipping it back and getting a lot of the big servers' first serves back. Joe's got one of the biggest serves out there and he hasn't hit an ace yet.
And his first serve percentage is really suffering right now, isn't it? It's tumbled. Early days. So over 200K.
Nearly made it. Perfect point by Joe. Coming in on Roger's backhand, making him hit over that cross-court pass and just over-hitting the short angle volley. I think it's Roger's favourite pass, the backhand cross-court, more so than the down the line, especially if he has time to flick it. He's got amazing wrist action on his racket.
Well, he gets another chance here to really take charge of this opening set. Does he still surprise you when you're playing Federer? I mean, you've played him so often. You just talked about his favourite shot. Do you sort of read what's coming?
At times. Even last week, just playing him in that final in Brisbane, there were still different things that he did that I wasn't fully expecting, obviously. I thought he hit over his backhand a lot more than he has against me in the past.
Clever serve, 179. It wasn't the pace, it just kept running away, didn't it?
Yeah, a great slice serve down the tee there. Perfect ball toss and ran away from Federer on the forehand side.
So quickest tonight, this one, at 2:07. So Federer doesn't quite get the break, and Tsonga gets his second game. It's 3-2 in the opening set.
seen a national hero become a legend. The epic endured. And a four-time champion crowned. It doesn't just tell time, it tells history.
Time.
Just waiting. Federer with the break. And I mentioned just before the break that he didn't get the break. I think both of Tsonga's serves, I reckon, were long. And Federer just played them at the end of that service game.
Well, serve volleying second serves here. That possibly could be Stefan Edberg-like, but you never know. He can do it all.
Roger, good job by Federer. Roger, Leighton and I both saw Becker here yesterday, Boris Becker with Novak Djokovic. I mean, do you know when Edberg's coming and what the arrangement will be with Federer?
No, I haven't heard that yet. Just obviously, as Leighton, we're expecting him to come at some point. You would think surely it'd have to be... Good pass there from Joe, but surely it'd have to be the next couple of days. We'd just like to settle into a bit of a rhythm with the team, moving into a Grand Slam. So you would expect him here very, very shortly, I'm sure. I'm interested to see, as Leighton said, that whether he's going to persist with coming in a lot more. It's not that easy to do in the modern game, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely harder, and you know, Pat Rafter would agree. You know, he serve volleyed his whole career, and I think basically when he retired, the returners started getting better and better as well, and it was so hard for guys like Rafter, Henman, and the likes to serve volley on first and second serves.
I think Leighton, we saw a great point there, a classic serve volley point. Brisbane, could you have serve volleyed first and second serve?
If you were going to do it
week?
anywhere, it would have been there,
Yeah.
purely because it was a lot slicker court. It was shooting through a lot. Well, this is a pretty good exhibition match. You got Hawkeye.
It's Rogers.
I wonder if there's a limit of challenges he gets tonight.
He's just not good at them, is he?
When it actually first came in, he was quite opposed to it actually coming in the first place.
Did Carlos say he's got 10 challenges remaining? No, I think he said 2.
Anything.
So back on serve.
Well, this is where Joe's so dangerous, this big forehand. And it dips in as well. Quite often, a lot of his shots look like they're going long and will actually dip late. As you can see, Roger was anticipating this could have gone long and right in the corner.
Well, he's been a finalist here, semi-finalist, breaking through last year at the French. He's played so well at Wimbledon. Roger, when you got hold of him, where do you think his best chance was to break through and win?
I like this court for Joe, and also I like the US. You know, it's a tough situation because it's wild, it's loud, but any court that gave him some assistance to go forward, I thought, with his weight of ball, as Leighton said. Just like that, his athleticism, the heaviness of his shot. So when you've got that extra assistance with the court, you know, I just think those hard courts are extremely good. And here's the Hawkeye. You can see here the first serve returning points from Roger, very much favouring the backhand side is Joe. I mean, the other one being Wimbledon, obviously semi-finalist twice. I mean, he's a natural person that wants to come forward. And as Leighton picked up, his volley's probably his area. If he could actually find a little bit more consistency and legitimacy of his volley, he would be even more dangerous up there.
Well, yeah, even though he did make the semi-finals, obviously, of the French Open last year, which was a massive breakthrough for him, and obviously playing in front of his home crowd and handling that pressure and expectation of being the main Frenchman. But it does look like the hardest Grand Slam for him to win, I think, obviously, the Roland Garros, the slow French Open clay, with the pressure and expectation as well. You know, I prefer him on the quicker courts.
And he's going pretty well, isn't he? Because he's got himself back on serve. It's 4-3 in the opening set.
Time.
So the great champion Rod Laver with Stephen Healy, the president of Tennis Australia. Shane Warne just to their right, but what a great moment for Rod tonight and for Roger and all of us.
This is not an easy shot to play and can be dangerous too, but Joe's perfect playing in these situations, obviously, playing to the crowd.
And even as you see Joe, he's obviously got such a big forehand, but he's made a couple of bad misses there. But the tough thing about playing him, because he's got such a big serve and can hold serve so easily, he can afford to play a couple of loose return games and really just go after it and hope that he gets lucky in a couple of them.
And that makes a dangerous opponent, doesn't it?
Well, it puts a lot more pressure on the smaller guys, I think, that don't have the biggest serves out there.
So up to 4-all. Pretty comfortable hole for Federer there. Just a moment ago, somebody yelling out, "Come on, Rafa," and that was the Roger response. G224.
That's big. That's what this man is capable of. Very dangerous opponent.
And it's an easy 224 as well out of the racket. It's just a nice, easy swing.
Brilliant play by Tsonga, so it's 5-4 in the opening set. Gee, when he gets loose, oh boy, he's got some skill, isn't he?
Yeah, he's very talented out there, and obviously such a big shot maker as well.
You haven't played him much, have you?
Time.
So you can see at 5-4 in the opening set that Federer getting more first balls in. Tsonga doing really well when he gets them in, but only going at 47.
Well, as you can see, I still think the first serve is just a massive key to Roger's game, especially if he's looking to go deep in the slams, playing against the likes of Novak and Rafa. He's made 3 good first serves in this game. He gets looks like holding serve a lot more comfortably.
So can he go flat out and have a high first serve percentage, or does he have to take something off the ball to make sure that first serve's going in?
I would prefer him to take a little bit off it, I think, and make sure he gets a higher percentage of first serve.
That's the type of player you were talking about with Tsonga a moment ago, that he can have a swing, can't he?
He can go after it, exactly. He's 5-4 up here. He's just held serve comfortably, and he can lash out on a couple and hopefully put Roger under a little bit of pressure.
So Federer holds, and it's 5-all on this night with Roger Federer and friends, all about the Roger Federer Foundation, which is now 10 years old. Roger is very passionate about it. He goes to Africa often, mainly Southern Africa, but it's Ethiopia as well, and other bits of Africa. His mum, of course, Lynette, a South African. His dad, Roger, and a pharmaceutical company went out there and was working. They met one another, and the rest is history. Beautiful history, great sporting history, good serve.
15.
It's got good variety, Tsonga, hasn't it?
Yeah, amazing. And you can see the angle so far up the sideline there. He's got power and finesse. That was a good approach by Roger there, coming in on the forehand, slicing down the line, keeping it low. Joe falling backwards and still able to hit the perfect topspin lob. Well, that's when I feel he's at his most dangerous, when he's moving forward on that short forehand, looking to come in off it. Because then you feel like, as the opponent, you've got to step back to try and counter out his power.
A pretty comfortable hold for Tsonga again, so we're getting deep now into the opening set. It's 6-5.
Time.
So we're getting to the business. What about these sit-down chairs? You like them?
Yeah, I do like them. They look very relaxing. Joe seemed to be sitting in a proper chair, though, and I think Roger's asking him, come on, mate, sit in the one that lays back a little bit more.
I'll tell you later why that's actually happened. It's got something to do with his physio. Joe's physio, Michel, who's Frenchman, he used to be Mauresmo's physio. He's a great guy, and he's always about posture. And Joe wanted to get a Porsche. He said, no, not while I'm your physio, mate. You'll never play tennis. Oh, that just hit the line. I was right on that. And he would have been looking up at Joe and actually saying, get on the other chair.
Well, there's a late challenge here. We think Roger's got it, but... I think this is great to obviously see the players in a totally different light as well, and you know, actually interacting with the crowd. When you're out here for a Grand Slam, there's obviously so much pressure and expectation, and it's very hard to do that in the middle of a 5-set epic battle.
So closed at the start now, fully open. So all over the net there, so 6-all. I take this the right way, Leighton, but you're not the sort of guy a lot of people would think does exhibitions. That's not your style.
No, well, every time you step on the court there, you know, there's always something to get out of it. There's got to be a purpose. And both these guys, you know, even though this is an exhibition match, then they're getting ready. There would still be a purpose in both their play tonight. So into a tie break now. Well, two very good serves to open up this breaker. Both guys hitting the paint.
You had to really dig there, Tsonga. It was a good volley under pressure. That's worked so well for him tonight, hasn't it? Down the line, 216 that one. Not his quickest tonight. That's a 2-2-4. Federer's 197. He's been close to that a couple of times in this game,
yeah,
or this tie break.
It's such an easy action as well on the serve. Generates so much pace. Small opportunity here for Joe. Really look for him to be aggressive here on a second serve.
3-all.
Well, he was.
He got the ball that he wanted. Short forehand. Just caught it a tad late, and that's made it go just wide.
So tonight, Tsonga 226 or 224. Sam Groth 263. The
the
Australian.
record.
Yeah, who got a wild card into the Australian Open. He's had a pretty good summer, Leighton, hasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. He's done a lot of work on his fitness. The big question mark's always been, you know, how fit he could get himself, obviously, to be able to last 5 sets out there. But he played some really good tennis in Brisbane, which was a pleasing sign because he's got such a dangerous game.
In a 263 serve. So the first point against the serve in the tie break, and that was Federer's fastest serve for the night. Over 200. 202.
Well, Joe's definitely saved some of his best serving for the tiebreaker, which is such an important time in any match. Well, that's too good by Joe. I think Roger played a perfect point there. He asked him the question. He came in on a good slice backhand. There's 3 set points to Joe. Roger saves one with a good first serve.
So now on his racket. Gets it. 50 minutes. Tsonga takes the opening set. 7-5 in the tiebreak. 7 games to 6.
Folks, I hope you're enjoying the tennis. What a terrific match so far. We've got more to come. The boys are absolutely loving those cheers. Joe was. Anyway, just a reminder about that web address for the Roger Federer Foundation and the Australian Tennis Foundation. It's rff.tennis.com.au. And again, thanks for your support tonight. But if you'd like to do a little extra, rff.tennis.com.au. And it's Rolex time, it's just on 9:30.
Why this watch? This watch is an icon of impossible achievement, grace under pressure, battles endured, champions crowned, and records broken.
Online?
It doesn't just tell time.
So that when that's on, you're on air.
Okay.
To get off there, if you want to cough, go like that. And then if you want to talk to someone about there, which you won't want to do, Paddy, probably outside. But when you talk to Leighton, just over there. If you don't want to really take it off. I'll look after it. Playing well, son, aren't you?
Second set. Roger Federer.
So that opening set in a tie break for Tsonga. Federer got the early break in the opening set, and then Tsonga got back in the 6th game, and then it went to that tie break. Leighton and I are about to be joined by our Davis Cup captain, who was a star earlier tonight, Pat Rafter.
He hit him well, didn't he, Pat, out there tonight?
He warmed up Joe perfectly, Pat, didn't you?
Yeah. I thought she hit the ball well too. I don't think I missed the ball.
I reckon you're ready for next week.
I was very nervous too. I thought my forehand was going to be over the back fence.
Welcome, Pat. It's been a great night already, hasn't it?
Oh, it's done very, very well. Terrific crowd as well, and a great shot. I was really moved, Bruce, by watching Rocket Rod come out in the court. I could have shed a tear if I was a little bit more sensitive, but it was a really nice moment, and I just thought the whole night's been put together so beautifully, and to top it off, some really good tennis out here too.
Yeah, for sure. So Federer holds in the opening game of the 2nd set. As we look at some of the highlights from that opening set, and Tsonga served a lot of double faults, but in the end the serve became really important for him, didn't it?
Absolutely. He served a lot better as the set went on. Both guys love getting around and using their forehands, especially from the backhand side of the court. And they both tried coming in as much as possible and putting each other under a lot of pressure.
I was listening to your commentary before there, Leighton, and you're talking about the court speed. It does look a bit slower than Brisbane.
Yeah, it's definitely playing a little bit slower out there.
We saw Roger come in a lot in Brisbane, didn't we?
Yeah, well, I think on that style of court, it was very slick. It was kind of like more the US Open hard court when you won, and even when I won in 2001, and sort of had that shine across it. Whereas these courts in Melbourne, and I've heard also in Sydney at the Apia International, has a little bit more grit, which obviously chops up the balls a little bit more and makes it a little bit heavier conditions out there.
And of course, Joe's come from the Hopman Cup where he was unbeaten there. He had a couple of pretty tight 3-setters towards the end of the week, but he got through that unscathed, didn't he? I mean, he's just a talent, isn't he?
Yeah, well, he's looked pretty confident, and I think he's always played really well here in Australia as well.
How did Federer look to you in Brisbane, Pat?
I think he was hitting his straps as the tournament went along. I think he started off a little rusty in his early matches, and then I thought he actually started playing pretty well towards the end, and he got off to a slow start against Leighton. But I thought he found some pretty good form, and he take nothing away from Leighton. I thought he was very impressive in that match.
So an easy hole for Joe.
If we have a look here, this is some of Joe-Wilfried's big forehands, obviously setting up the point, moving forward, but his transition, when he's hitting his forehand, trying to come into the net is so good, but he takes a massive cut at a couple of those right behind the baseline with heavy topspin, which is enabling the ball to drop just inside the baseline. I reckon Roger should put that back in the bag and save that for the clay court season, the forehand drop shot.
Can you tell him?
Well, I've never played drop shots well, and I'm sure Pat hasn't played too many of them either, but you know, here in Australia, it's not something we really go up doing on the Australian hard courts.
Especially someone who's a good athlete as Tsonga, who's going to run down the ball very quickly. And we were always chastised if ever we did a drop shot on hard court.
I don't know. I'd be interested to know your thoughts, Pat, because I think both these guys are trying to come in a lot and put a lot of pressure on each other. Now, we were having a discussion earlier in the first set about whether it's still possible, especially serve volleying on second serves. Is it better just to do it still now as more a surprise tactic rather than doing it all the time?
I think with these guys who aren't doing it all the time, I think you're right, Leighton. I think it's probably better as a surprise tactic. It does take
a style of game. I mean, that's all I could do. So I had to do it so well when I played, and I didn't want to stay back. Well, this is the sort of tennis you don't see, when they're playing the serious stuff, though, is it?
It's the sure thing, Pat. So it's 2-1 on serve.
Time.
Early stages of the second set. Packed house here. Roger Federer and friends on with Pat Rafter and Leighton Hewitt. Tsonga won the opening set in a tie break. And a break of serve each in that opening set. So here's a chance.
Well, here's the Tsonga rally hit point. As you can see, he's trying to stay as close to the baseline as possible. He does still get pushed back, and that's more likely off, obviously, Roger's forehand, pushing him back behind the baseline, but he's trying to step into the court as much as possible and obviously take his opportunities to come forward into the net.
And in comparison, Federer?
Well, this is Rogers. He's trying to come in as much as possible too. You can obviously see him playing out of his backhand corner a lot, and he does like getting around and using his off forehand as much as possible. That's his big weapon. He will try and slice and make you slice, and then he'll try and actually get around and use his forehand to dictate play. He's missed a bit of an opportunity here at love 30. Try and get up a break in this second set after losing the first in a tight tie break.
I tell you what, Leighton, I'm really looking forward to seeing if Edberg, excuse me, has an impact on Roger's game at all.
Well, we've been waiting for him to arrive in a way, haven't we?
I was telling Bruce earlier, when I hit with him in Brisbane, I felt like he was trying to be more aggressive with his volleys and actually, especially his footwork. Sometimes he gets a little lazy and he lets his wrists, and he's so good using his hands at the net than actually sticking his volleys all the time. And I thought he was making a conscious effort to really do that just in practice. Obviously, taking it on from the practice court onto the match court, especially on a Grand Slam, is the toughest thing to do.
Well, I thought it was very noticeable in Brisbane of him trying to get to the net a lot more. But I mean, you watched Edberg volley, he was down low, he was like a cat, and he was very explosive, and Roger's still too upright, I think. And I wonder if, when he does come, will he listen to Stefan, and will Stefan be able to get him to get a bit lower?
Well, this is the jump smash.
You know, I tried one of those in the seniors a couple of weeks ago. I think I just jumped over about a 10-cent piece. And I actually started laughing.
Did the ball go in?
I don't know. It was just embarrassing.
It's obviously a lot of people and the public will be looking and thinking, why does Roger Federer need a coach? Or, you know, he's been out there, he's done so many, he knows everyone's game inside out. But it's just those one or two small things that can actually give you that confidence, I guess, to move forward and try and take it to, especially Novak Djokovic and obviously Rafael Nadal.
Yeah, I think he's got to keep improving his game. He's 6th in the world now. He wants to win Grand Slams. He has to do something a little bit different.
And Pat, I said at the start of the night that it's much more about winning and losing tonight. There's a greater good, but I feel Roger has to come off the court feeling good tonight after what happened in Brisbane last Sunday.
Yeah, I think he was expecting to win that tournament. He was a favourite, and Leighton was obviously far too good for him in the final. And I think that didn't do his confidence much good. And I think it would be important for him to come off and probably have a win, not just hit the ball well, but actually win tonight.
Well, he's got some work to do because he's a set behind and he had some chances in that game.
Going back to a couple of points ago, I know it's hard to harp on it, but I just saw Roger miss a backhand volley just purely because his body was not in the right position. He was upright. He was too lazy with his whole intensity at the net.
Well, I think that's a small problem he has sometimes purely because he is so talented and he has so many weapons on the court that he does get a little bit lazy on his volleys, probably more than anything. And he tries to use his wrist and his touch far too much instead of actually getting down and doing the small basic things better. But he's got a lot more talent than we ever have, so...
Well, I think you are the best volleyer out there right now in the game, Leighton, and that's because you are. You know, you're taught by Roche and these guys on how to stay low and get in behind the ball, but you've obviously got great hands. And I think, you know, these guys should be looking at the way you volley now.
Interesting start. Federer holds pretty comfortably, and it's 3-2 in the second set.
Time.
A night with Roger Federer and friends, and the match update. So pretty even, aren't they? I mean, the unforced errors are winners. Forced errors, a few more that Tsonga's been able to inflict. So interesting stage in the match. Tsonga is set up on serve, though, in the middle hour of the second set.
Well, that's a good play, I think, by Roger to try and hit and come in sometimes on the second serve. And just, it's a change-up. Joe's obviously up 30-love in his service game. He's holding serve quite comfortably most times. So the element of surprise is so big, I think, in the men's game these days. So many guys play so similar out there.
No, it's a great call, Leighton, and he does do it very well. He's such a great athlete too, Roger. He can impose a real lot of pressure at the net if he wants to, especially like a 30-all point.
Well, that'll be a forehand pass that our good friend Tony Roach would love. He loves this curl. As you can see, Roger's curled that around to bring it back in, give himself an opportunity at juice here.
So gets the break. Just a reminder about the Roger Federer and Friends Foundation, ff.tennis.com.au. That's open for the duration of the Australian Open. So that's the Roger Federer Foundation to give those disadvantaged children in Africa, Southern Africa, a chance at an education. So Federer now sprinting maybe towards the end of the second set.
Well, he's got himself in a nice position right now, and we might see him come to the net a little bit more. He sometimes frees up when he gets himself in a winning situation.
She's great hitting.
Well, that's just power. Great movement to get out to that wide forehand.
When you play Joe, Leighton, where do you avoid going?
Well, obviously to his forehand as much as possible, but you sort of have to go to his forehand to open up his backhand. If he's actually just standing in the one corner in his backhand, he can make a lot of them in a row and actually puts you under a lot of pressure to keep it into that corner. It's a matter of trying to keep him off balance as much as possible. He's such a good mover out there as well. So I think going back behind is always a good play against all those good movers. They run onto the ball so strongly.
4-2-50. Mr. Tsonga is trying the ball. And Laver, far line. Mr. Tsonga has 2 challenges.
He was tempted, but concedes that it might have been a touch long and wide. Well, he hasn't put it away, but he holds serve, and it's 5-2 now in the second set.
Federer leads by 5-2.
Time. So everybody having a wow of a time here on this perfect night. Roof open. It's been a lovely day in Melbourne. It's going to be warming up over the next few days. The draw for the Australian Open on Friday. Been some great results for Australia today. Bernard Tomic and Marina Matosevic both winning. Marinko and in Sydney. And a youngster did pretty well at Kooyong today against Richard Gasquet, didn't he? Our young Jordan Thompson. Didn't quite get over the line, but Tsonga serving here to stay in the second set. Roger, we haven't heard from you for a while. Roger Rashid, you're sitting down watching all this. You were coaching Joe last year when they went 5 sets. I mean, what's the standard of play like tonight, do you think?
It's good. You couldn't hear me because Pat talks so much.
But it's all gold.
It's all good stuff.
It's gold.
No, look, the stand's been good. Joe looks very confident, as Leighton said, winning his matches up in Perth as he did last year. And just moving freely. I like the fluency in the way he's moving in his transitional play. So that all looks really smooth and relaxed. And Roger also, I think, is hitting the ball well. I'm interested in Pat's thoughts about the change of a racket size. Should you be looking for answers in your racket, or is it something else? And Pat was talking about the volley and getting down and all those sort of things. We're interested whether he would have looked at the racket change.
So Federer just dabbling with the racket.
Yeah, it's a good point, Roger. I guess he's looking for something extra, and whether it's a racket or a coach or a change of game, I don't really know. But he's certainly out there searching now, which I think is a really positive sign if you want to make the next step.
It's not always an easy thing to do either, purely because Roger and I both use pretty basic rackets, I guess, for most of our career, and now getting older as well and trying to search for something that has a little bit more power or spin in it. It's not an easy thing to change to.
Trademark song of that one. So, in the Hopman Cup, Joe went fishing on his day off and did all right. He caught a flathead or two. He's just a sort of guy, he loves fishing. He'd switch right off. He'd love all this, wouldn't he?
He does look pretty relaxed out there, doesn't he?
That was just shown on the big screen here, and people are having a big laugh. So there you go.
And, you know, Leighton talking about the rackets, the racket changes. We started with Joe in January last year looking at this racket that he's using now, which he picked up and started using in October. He was using the big Nadal racket, that yellow frame Babolat, which was very explosive and powerful, but would sometimes lose his shot, especially the backhand side. So we were trying to secure that also technically as well. And this is the new frame.
How long did he use that yellow frame for, Roger?
He was using that for about 3 years. It's funny, Paddy went from a traditional Wilson racket to that big, thick frame. And now this, as you can see there, I mean, he's always been able to do that, but it used to just fly out of the racket and he'd hit it 2 feet long, and this was to get a bit more security on his shot, and so not have that ball that just flies off the racket, which that ball, that racket does, that yellow Babolat that Nadal uses. I think this is just a lot better frame for him.
So he wants to close this out, Federer, to take it to a third. Apologies, but a set point. Great shot to end the second set. We go to a third and decider.
I thought this was a friendly game of tennis. Folks, again, that website address rff.tennis.com.au, and your support is greatly appreciated, not only by being here with us tonight, but from the Roger Federer Foundation and the Australian Tennis Foundation at rff.tennis.com.au. If you'd like to make any further contribution, it will be greatly accepted. Time. Final set. Jo-Wilfried Tsonga.
So we go to a third set. Federer coming steaming back in the second. Tsonga with a change of shirt. Australia play France in the Davis Cup within a few days of the final of the Australian Open. It's an indoor clay court?
Indoor clay. It's a very quick turnaround, not just for the Aussies, but for the French as well.
Well, it's tough, Pat. How well do we want, obviously, Joe, Monfils, Gasquet, these guys to do? Because, yeah, as you said, it is so tough. And to come from these conditions where we're obviously in our summer here playing on a hard court to go, obviously, over there and play in winter in an indoor clay court. So they'll obviously be playing well and seeing the ball well, but then again, maybe not adjust to the clay court as quickly.
Yeah, my attitude is you can't beat confidence, Leighton. And after you had that great run at the US Open and very unlucky not to get through even further. Great movement. And just seeing after your performance you had at the US Open, you came into Poland playing sensational tennis. You're seeing the ball so well. So for me, that's the most important thing of winning matches.
So I should try here.
Mate, if you can stick around to at least semis.
It's obviously, you know, Davis Cup is so important to so many people, but, you know, we've worked our butts off to get back in this world group, so we're all really looking forward to it.
So love game for Tsonga as we take a look back at that second set when Federer got the break in the sixth game and was able to close it out.
Well, he probably served a little bit better in this second set, got a few more cheaper points as well. And obviously the curler pass there. And this is the forehand he hit so well. Great movement around the backhand side of the court to give himself enough space. He's quick though, isn't he?
Oh,
he got there easily.
He doesn't look that quick. He's such a big man. He's so powerful and he's fast. He'd be the last man I'd be drop shotting.
That's a great shot by Roger, but I was going to say that, boys, he is just one power plant when he puts his feet down. I mean, that ball there would look like a, you know, it's going to be tough to get to, but he was jogging to that almost.
Roger, you were coaching him this time last year, but I think I read where he ran 11 seconds flat or something as a kid for 100 metres. Is that right?
No, that was Gale actually ran 10.96 with his runners on from a standing start. Yeah,
I think so.
Not bad, is it?
I think Tsonga had a pretty quick time actually.
He's pretty close.
Don't you take me on with stats?
You've got your athletic stats, Olympic stats all sorted, Bruce, and every other stat, but I think they hid this one from me. But he's not too. He's just about. I think Joe raced himself against Gale. Gale's got a longer. He's got his jump, standing jumps, a lot taller. But just off the blocks, 100 metres, 200 metres. Joe said to me, "I still got Gale."
Hey, Rod, they both live in Switzerland, don't they? So they're from Federer country.
Yeah, about 150 metres away from each other, actually, these two guys. And so they like the quiet life, actually, both of them, Gale, and as much as you wouldn't think Gale does on the court when he's doing his stuff, but they're very quiet individuals off the court.
Go to long.
Pat, just got to ask you, mate. I might have a few little things here that might just get them upset during the matches that you might just want to spray at them here. Should we talk or not for Davis Cup?
What do you mean?
Yeah, just a few little comments you can make from the side of the chair while Rossi's playing. Might just get them really bothered, you know.
I'm sure you know these guys very well, both Joe and Gail, so if you've got any inside info that'll get them rattled, I'd love to know.
Very handy.
Yep.
You two would love that, I reckon. Just...
It's a good hold, so we're on serve in the third set. It's 2 games to 1.
From the lead by 2 games to 1.
It's been great. Good.
Time.
So they tell a tale. There's not a whole lot between them. I mean, Federer with more winners. Forced errors is a difference. The unforced errors spot on. It's 2-1. It's on serve in the third set. It's a good shot. Just the 3 breaks of serve in the match. Federer with a couple and Tsonga with 1.
Well, you just feel this is pretty important for Rog to try and get a win out here tonight, purely because moving into this first Grand Slam of 2014, his last 2 Grand Slam performances in his losses at Wimbledon to Starkovsky in the second round, and then obviously to Tommy Robredo in the US Open, are probably 2 of his most average Grand Slam losses in a long time. So for him just to get some confidence, especially to clear through that first week as well, and put himself in a position to be there in the second week and give himself a chance.
I think he is still searching for a bit of confidence.
Well, he's going to be seated outside the top 4, obviously going at 6 now. Since Gaudio won the French in 04, the only man to win a Grand Slam not seated in the top 4 was Del Potro at the US. I mean, it's really been 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's hard to do, isn't it? I mean, they've just had a stranglehold, those top seeds, for the last 7 years.
Yeah, well, I guess that being in that 5 to 8 category now as well in the seeds, there's a very good chance that he's obviously could get Novak or Rafa in the quarterfinal, and then to try and go through and win quarters, semis and finals against those quality players over 5 sets where they put that physical demand on you for 4 or 5 hours isn't easy.
And taking nothing away from David Ferrer, but he would prefer to play David Ferrer than...
Yep, he's going to be seated at 3, yeah. So 2-all on serve.
You know, I think this tournament's a little...
Let's have a look at Tsonga and just his speed around the court.
Yeah, we've spoken about how powerful an athlete he is, but his movement moving forward is incredible.
Pat, we're going to let you go at the end of this game. I mean, there have been some really great results for Australian tennis in the last week and a half. I mean, mainly Hewitt winning, obviously, in Brisbane, but there's been a good flow on this week as well, hasn't there?
Yeah, it certainly has been. Marinko's backed up a good Brisbane tournament. And by having a couple more wins in Sydney, and then Bernie's starting to find a bit of form as well. He struggled a little bit today, but I think that's good to struggle this time, leading into a Grand Slam. And listen, I'm really excited about Kokonakis as well. and hopefully Nick Kyrgios can get himself right for this tournament. But these two young kids are certainly the new kids that'll take over.
Will you take them to France?
We'll take both of them, yes, we will.
And just for the record, you've got a 3-zip record against Roger Federer. You played him in his very first Grand Slam match at the French Open in 1999. You've got a lot of other great things as well, Pat, but it's not bad on the CV, is it?
Yeah, he doesn't like it at all.
Hey, Pat, thanks for that. Look forward to seeing you throughout the fortnight.
Thanks, guys. I'll see you around.
Terrific, our Davis Cup champion and captain. So it's 3-2 on serve.
Time.
He's a big toe. So Roger lightening the move, but we're at a pretty critical stage in this match. On serve halfway through the final set. Pat on his way out, telling Leighton he reckons that this Australian Open's the most open he's seen in a long, long time for the men. Feels that he could be in for a bit of a change, but we'll see. That draw is going to be so important on Friday morning.
Yeah, it's obviously important to everyone. We spoke about Roger, depending on which quarter of the draw he'll fall into, and Tsonga obviously ranked outside the 8 now as well, so.
And chance here for Tsonga.
Well, he stepped in on a couple of second serves there, which is great to see. One on the backhand, one on the forehand, but that's the kind of player he is. When he's playing his best tennis, he's looking to dictate play and put his opponents on the back foot. I'd love to see him do it here again, even if he hit the backhand and come in straight down the line here. It's the right idea. Great second serve by Roger, though. It got up, and he hit that one at 153 as well. He had a little bit more on it at love 30.
So big chance here. So he's 100% on break points tonight, 2 for 2. More than 14,000 people here tonight, so very close to a full house for the Roger Federer Foundation. If you'd like to donate and help those underprivileged and disadvantaged children throughout Africa. It's the Roger Federer Foundation .tennis.com.au. Open to the end of the Australian Open. So Tsonga with a real chance here, 4-2.
The longest rally. There was a little bit of cat and mouse out there as well, both playing the slice backhands to each other. It's a shame Pat Rafter's still not with us, because that's all Pat did for most of his career.
Very successfully. That was great tennis. It was a fantastic return, a really good pickup, and then a great shot by Federer. Tsonga nearly made it. So now good pressure from Federer.
Well, Roger gave a head fake here like he was going to go cross court, and he's just missed it up the line. I would have given him 3 break points. Now Tsonga at 15-30, trying to consolidate this break.
Interesting, you know, he slowed it right down there, somebody. He won 56.
He's gone the change-up a couple of times in this game. I think the biggest question mark with Joe is he seems to be able to pull off that one big upset against one of those top 4 guys, but whether he can do it 2 or 3 in a row to actually win a slam, there's no doubt that he has the weapons.
It's the big problem for everyone, isn't it, outside the top 4 or 5? Is it physical or mental?
It's both. To be able to back it up, obviously mentally to go out there and think that you could possibly get put to the sword for 4 or 5 hours against either a Nadal or a Djokovic or even Murray, but then to back it up 2 days later again.
So the It was great court coverage from Federer.
Well, I think the volley turned out a little bit better than he'd even hoped, Joe. Stuck the racket out. Great footwork here to get in the right position to hit this forehand. He was totally out of the court. He had to go for the clean winner. Comes up with a break point.
Where is Novak? And he gets it. Back on serve.
Tsonga leads by 4 games to 3. Time.
So this night, with Roger Federer and friends, over 14,000 people here. The Roger Federer Foundation.tennis.com.au, the place to go if you want to support Roger's cause and his mission. And he's just broken back. And we're back on serve in this deciding set. It's been a great night of entertainment, an hour and 3/4.
15.
Federer with the all-time 17 Grand Slam championships. Tsonga one of 10 current players to have made a Grand Slam final. Only 10 that are playing at the moment have been in a final.
It's going to be an important hold here for Roger, obviously. Back to 30-15. Couple of loose points from 30 love, back to 30 all now. Federer's unforced error is up to 27. Tsonga's just down at 23. He took a little bit of pace off that serve just to get the angle up the sideline.
So he's almost a match now for Tsonga in the ace department. He's been creeping up. So a couple of terrific serves to hold, or 4 all. Talked about Tsonga being one of 10 to make a final. It was in 2008 when he made the final here.
Yes!
Had an extraordinary run. It was Djokovic's big breakthrough as well, but his performance against Nadal, which Tsonga's in the semi, was breathtaking, wasn't it?
Amazing. We'll look at the scoreline, 2-3 and 2. He was really just riding a wave those whole 2 weeks.
He's been a consistent performer in the majors since then, but not another final. We had a run, didn't we? We had Baghdadis in 06, Gonzalez in 07, and Tsonga in 08.
Yeah,
They sort of made these extraordinary runs, didn't they?
Yeah, they sort of the bolters that came out of the shadows really there and really started all 3 of their careers, especially on the big stage.
Leighton, we see that the end Joe's out here at 4-all now in the third, but tell everyone, viewers at home, how tough that end can be on this centre court.
Yeah, that end is definitely the tougher end. From where Roger's playing now, it does slope down. So it feels like you're hitting uphill a little bit more. And I think it's so important up that end to stay as close to the baseline as possible and not lose ground to your opponent. From this end where Roger is, though, you want to hit it with a little bit more topspin. Give yourself a little bit more margin and play the percentages a bit more. And also 9 times out of 10, when it does get windy in here sometimes, especially more so during the day, the wind will actually come from behind Roger's back as well. So
She played that well, Tsonga, because it was a good return by Federer. It was 15-30. So it's like you're kicking into the breeze a bit.
yeah, it can be. I think it's worse during the day than at night. It's quite often a bit calmer at night here in Melbourne, especially on centre court. Well, things can quickly change. Only a couple of games ago, Tsonga had the opportunity to go up 5-2. Really looked to close out this third set, and now Roger has break point.
I can't find it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we have a graphic for actually where the ball landed.
Trust me, it was out. Carlos, so a deep breath and juice. Rafa keeps getting a mention, I think. So a second chance for Federer here.
Good aggressive play though by Joe, and especially on break point. Would have given Rog the opportunity to serve out the match. Kept attacking and going for his shots. His volley's actually a falcon. Nearly knocked himself out, but it's given Federer another opportunity, third break point.
He's got it. So he'll come out and serve for the match after this. So we come to a critical stage, obviously, in what's been a great night here. Fantastic crowd. They've really had a wonderful night of entertainment. Federer here to serve for the match after Tsonga had the early break in this set. Roger, we're getting close, I think, one way or the other. I mean, it's been just the perfect night for both of them in terms of preparation.
Yeah, look, it's perfect, you know, in front of the crowd. You've got the umpires, you've got all the playing elements. So they missed by a bit, but you can go through your whole range. You can, you know, you get a real good gauge, and you can go away from here, and both of them may get. And obviously, Roger will get night matches, depending on Joe with the scheduling and stuff, and so they take a lot out of it for sure.
Who's impressed you, Roger?
Both hit the ball pretty cleanly. Joe looks very sharp, I think, and you know, I've seen Roger over last week and this week, so he'll get better as well, and as the great players do towards the start of a major. We haven't quite got the adrenaline of the competition though, Bruce, and I think that's what makes obviously Leighton so great, and a lot of the great players once the pressure's really on.
Especially going into a Grand Slam as well, it is so hard. Roger's one of the best front runners, so over 5 sets as well, to go out there and actually beat him, win 3 out of the 5 sets, not an easy thing to do, and that's why he's been such a great champion, especially in the big majors.
Well, he mightn't be at the finish line just yet. Tsonga with a chance here, and he's been converting well, as you can see, when he's had his chance tonight. Federer's created more opportunities, but Tsonga's 2 for 2. Can he make it 3 for 3? And he does. So Roger had 30-15 there.
Yeah, there's a few nerves, I reckon, trying to close this one out.
So you look at points one, there's
nothing between them, is there?
And Federer's had 51 winners tonight.
Well, there's a good swinging serve down the tee here. If it has caught any of the line, it will be given as an ace. Just wide, second serve.
It's a thing of beauty when he's in full flight, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think this is one big shot. If he can get this going over the next couple of weeks, then he's definitely going to be dangerous. He's giving himself another couple of opportunities here to get the break. 15-40. Good point by Tsonga, though. He never let Roger get balance there to hit that passing shot.
So that change of pace on the forehand, forcing the error, and Federer to serve for it again at 6-5. Just over a couple of hours here. And for the second time tonight, Roger Federer and friends, the host serves for the match. And he starts it emphatically.
15 love.
Wow.
That was wayward. I think this is more in hope for Joe-Wilfried. Did look to be slightly wide there, obviously. Should give Roger a perfect start to serving it out for the second time.
So 3 now. 3 match points. As one champion looks on, maybe the greatest looking at the greatest, if that makes any sense at all. The two, Laver and Federer, so often in the same sentence, and tonight on the same page. He was coming in. It was the perfect way to finish. The two great entertainers.
He is magnificent. He is Roger Federer. What about a round of applause for his opponent tonight, Joe-Wilfried Tsonga of France.
It always takes 2 to tango, and the co-star tonight did his bit, and it was just a great night. As the rocket looks on.
And also a round of applause for our chair umpire, Mr. Carlos Menades, who donated his time tonight. Looking very sharp indeed.
He does look sharp, and he did a sharp job, didn't he? It was just a terrific night. So Federer for the record, 6-7, 6-3, 7-5 in 2 hours and 5 minutes. And Leighton's made his way out, and I think he's about to have a chat with Joe-Wilfried Tsonga. We'll be talking to Roger on court after this. So Leighton, he's all yours.
Thank you, Bruce. No, Joe, obviously great preparation, and coming in here, you look to be hitting the ball sweetly out here tonight.
Yeah, I'll play well. It was a good match tonight. It's always tough to play against Roger. He's amazing. He's playing so quick. He's so shiny. He's perfect. No, it was great to be here tonight for a great cause, and I'm really happy to play tonight.
And it really all started for you back here in Melbourne, obviously, when you made that great final, losing a close final to Novak, obviously, that year. So, you know, to come out here and play in front of another full house, you have so much great support down here in Melbourne.
Yeah, thank you guys for all the support to give me, you know. You give me a lot of support. You always miss me, even if I'm not winning every time. And that's cool, so thank you, and I hope I will have some good wins this week.
Yeah, and you're really looking forward to the Australian Open, obviously coming up, the first major. Could be a breakthrough for you in a couple of weeks' time?
Yeah, for me it's really important. I'm feeling really good, so we'll see what's happened, but I'm confident and I'm sure I will play good tennis.
Good luck, mate. Thank you. Thanks very much.
Well done, Leighton, and to Joe as well. He's a huge favourite here with such a pedigree. It was a fantastic night, almost a full house, over 14,000, as close as you get. A lot of money raised for the Roger Federer Foundation, and just a great night of entertainment. A night that started in a very special way. We'll talk to Roger in just a moment, but the build-up was as good as the match. Why? So this all coming up at Kooyong in the next couple of days. We've got Djokovic in Monaco on Thursday, 5 o'clock on 7, mate, and then Hewitt against Murray, 5 o'clock on Friday. Really looking forward to that. What a night we've had here tonight. Roger Federer is joining us on Laver Arena with Leighton Hewitt. Roger, congratulations. What a crowd for a start. I mean, it was just an amazing atmosphere, wasn't it?
Unbelievable. Thank you so much. What a pleasure to play any match here, particular a match for a good cause, even better. I've played some of my best matches and biggest matches of my career right here, so it feels very special being back, and thanks for making it so unique for all of us and for me in particular tonight.
And Roger, there was a moment at the start when Rod Laver came out and this crowd just went nuts, didn't they?
Well, I was nervous, and like I mentioned, and then he comes out and trying to keep the ball in play. I was able to do that, and it's just a dream come true to be able to play, some balls with him and just spend time with him, speaking to him. He's such an inspiration. It's had such a big impact on the game of tennis, particularly here in Australia. So it's very, very special for all of us.
Yeah, it's fantastic scenes, obviously, seeing Rod, who this centre is actually named after, obviously, here as well. But you must be pretty happy with your form tonight. You seem to be getting better as the match went on, obviously, after losing the first set in a breaker. And this is your last real hit out, I guess, before the Australian Open starts on Monday.
Of course, you try out a few things, but most important tonight was just to enjoy it, to have a blast, have fun with Joe, and hopefully, excite you guys a little bit and get into the mood of the Australian Open, because it's an absolute pleasure playing the Australian Open. I've been coming here now for almost 15 years, since the juniors and the qualifying, and I've been on the outside courts. So this, in a way, of course, it is a perfect preparation, but it was so much more than this tonight.
And Roger, you do have another life outside of tennis. I mean, the Roger Federer Foundation and all the work that you've done in Africa. I mean, it's 10 years that you started it, 10 years ago. I mean, you'd started at a young age, and you're doing some great things. I mean, what's the big plan? I mean, what would you like to happen in the next 3 or 4 years with the foundation?
Well, it's something that's very close to my heart, of course. I'm very emotionally attached to it, and for me to reach 10 years already is a great deal, because I'm happy I started so early. I was able to learn a lot in the beginning of my career through being on the big stage, in the big moment, meeting very influential and important people who have taught me great things. My mom has been the big inspiration behind me starting my own foundation at a very young age, and here we reach now 10 years of the foundation. We've reached, I think, the lives of about 86,000 kids so far with quality education, and I really still feel we're at the beginning, and I hope we can achieve great things. We have an ambitious goal to reach 1 million kids by 2018, and an event like this is obviously going to help in a great way.
Now, we've asked the public to ask 3 questions of you tonight, Roger. I hope you don't mind. So Paul, who's visiting from the UK, I hope he hasn't been watching the cricket.
No, hopefully not.
Roger, what will you be doing in 10 years' time?
I'll be old. No, not so old. I'll be skiing. I'll be spending time with the family. Look, I hope to be involved in tennis in some shape or form, of course. This game has given me everything and more, and I hope I can come back here. I hope I can enjoy this place as well, just as a spectator, because I have doubts I'll still be playing.
The second from social media, if you had to, Joanne asks, if you had to choose an actor to play you in a movie, who would you pick?
A great actor, probably, just a guy who can act, It doesn't matter who it is, but I like Leonardo DiCaprio. I think he does a great job.
I knew he was going to pick somebody good looking, didn't you?
Yeah, we could guess that. But
And this is from Angela, who's here tonight, and she's just had a little baby, and she asks, if you had to name a child after a current tennis player. This is a crazy question, isn't it? boy and girl. Don't say Rafa, but if you...
if I had to name a baby after a tennis player.
Yeah.
My baby?
A current player.
A current player.
Well, it could happen soon. So.
It could happen very soon. This is crazy. Well, you almost try to avoid that, you know, that you name it after a tennis player. I gotta ask the permission to Mirko, of course, you know. There's, Novak? No. I don't know. Serena?
Hey, that'll do. Serena and Novak. There you go. Roger, hang around. We've got something a bit special coming up right after this. We'll be back with more Roger Federer and friends from Laver Arena tonight.
Warning, a Category 7 event is headed your way.
Justice Crow! Everybody watch out!
Everybody, it's time for tennis.
Everybody, come on! Everybody, come on! Watch out! Watch out!
Lyman tennis ball.
Everybody, it's time for tennis.
Attention! Everybody, it's time for tennis! Just let the good times flow.
And just a reminder, the Australian Open starts on Monday on 7, and the Aussies are in action tomorrow night at the AP International. It's Tomic first up, and then Matosevic 7:30 on 7-2. So both of those players in quarterfinals. They're doing pretty well, the Aussies, this summer, aren't they? Like,
Yeah, it's nice, absolutely. But obviously from the sporting, just moving on from the cricket. So try and keep it going.
Roger, it's been a remarkable night from the very start, and we've just got to special message here from somebody I think who's near and dear to you.
Roger, I can't begin to tell you how proud we are of you and your work with the foundation. You have made a huge difference to the lives of thousands of children in Africa, and I'm delighted that the wonderful people of Australia are also helping for this important cause. When we went to South Africa, my home country, when you were a little boy, I couldn't have dreamt that you would be so successful one day, and that you would use your privileged position to help so many. Your passion and dedication is an inspiration to us all. Thank you.
It's a great message from Mum. Roger's mother, Lynette. Roger, Dad was on the camera. It was a little bit wobbly, wasn't it?
It wasn't my dad on the camera, seriously. Great, well done. I mean, I'm surprised he could do that, like that well. He's not great with phones and so forth, but what a nice message. I mean, I love my parents, I love my mom, and they've been amazing throughout my career. I always told them they want to travel to every tournament around the world. They can do that. If they don't choose to come to any more matches of mine, that's okay too. I just want them to be happy, and she's been such an inspiration, such a great person in my life that I can never thank her enough.
Yeah, it's beautiful. How good is your memory late at night? A match 2 years ago when you were playing here on Laver Arena. We're going to show a little bit, and there was a great catch. You remember this?
Yeah, I do.
It was a ball kid. It was just a fantastic catch. Here we go. So, Roger, you're about to go now, and watch this.
You guys are very talented over here, you know, with the catches, and I always like to challenge them a little bit, and he was ready.
And he's on your left right now, Dylan Kalachi.
He's grown a lot. Nice to see you. A nice catch. I did write him a message afterwards.
I did get that. That was incredible. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
and Dylan, you're here tonight because?
Tonight, Roger, just letting you know that the Ball Kids have raised over more than $6,000 over the past 3 days. And over the tournament, we'll continue raising money for your foundation.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks.
It really it means a lot, and I used to be a ball boy for 2 years at my hometown tournament in Switzerland, where I played you, Leighton, and I always have a soft spot for all the ball boys and ball girls around the world, and so that really means a lot to me. Of course, you guys so much as well that you made it all work tonight. I can never thank you enough, really. This is truly amazing, and thank you again. Appreciate it.
Dylan, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And to conclude tonight, Roger, we've got one more bit of news for you tonight. Following tonight, the public that are here and those that are home have raised more than $1 million for the Roger Federer Foundation.
Wow. Thank you.
And you can continue to donate if you want to at home all the way through to the end of the Australian Open. I think that's about it, Roger.
Special night, incredible night. I wish it was every night, but we got the Australian Open around the corner. But a truly special thank you from me. I hope you enjoyed the Australian Open. Tennis is one of the best sports in the world, and you guys make it truly unbelievable for us to come out and compete. And I hope I can still play for many more years and come down here and enjoy myself. So thank you to everybody involved. Thank you.
Thanks, Roger. And if I could have one wish this year, it would be Federer and Hewitt in the final in a fortnight. That'll do. Good luck, Leighton.
Thank you. Thanks, Bruce.
Roger, thank you.
Thank you, Bruce.
Thank you to everybody here and at home. It's been a special night, as Roger said. A night with Roger Federer and friends.
Folks, we can thank Bruce McAvaney, know the kids do a wonderful job. We're in pre-tournament mode at the moment with qualifying. And come Monday, they'll be in full flight here on not only Laver Arena, but all the match courts throughout the Australian Open Tennis Championship. And folks, that concludes tonight. Hope you've enjoyed it. We'll hopefully see you back over the next fortnight, starting Monday, the Australian Open Tennis Championship. Thanks once again for your attendance. Hope you've had a great night and a safe journey home.
See you guys. Bye, guys.
Thank you, Roger.
It's your step started. Thank you so much, Roger. Thank you for joining us, Roger. And good luck with working with Stefan.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for bringing him back to Melbourne.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks, Stefan. Excuse me, Roger. Thank you.
Roger, get the ball. 2 seconds, please.
Thanks, Roger.
Roger, get the ball. 2 seconds. Can you get the ball? Just to be filmed. Come on. Just to be filmed. 2 seconds. Is it possible?
Hello, man.
Hi, Roger.
Hey, guys.
Hello, Roger. How are you today?
Great. How are you guys? Enjoying it?
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. Perfect. Thanks.
I'll see you during the tournament.
Thanks for coming, guys. Good luck, Roger. You're amazing.
Congratulations on your 10 years.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Roger. Good luck. Thank you so much for my inspiration. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry.
Roger, please. Roger. Roger.
Oh my God.
Oh, you're a legend.
Thank you, Roger.
Love you.
If you don't mind.
Handbag.
Yes, please. Oh my God. Thank you.
Roger.
Good luck. Thank
Roger.
you so much, Roger.
Just a handshake.
Thank you.
Roger.
Roger.
Roger, 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 Roger.
Whoa.
Roger, here, please, thank you. Yeah, I just came from South America. Yeah, thank you. Great night,
I
Roger.
love you, Roger. Enjoy it. Good luck in the Open. Thank you so much.
We're going to get in together and shake hands with expensive seats.
Roger! Assuming better against Rafa. Keep fighting.
Thank you, Roger.
All the best next week.
You left everything. Love you.
Thanks for coming.
Anytime. Just one more, Roger.
Oh, shoulders.
It's all right. Roger. Stretch it out. Stretch it out. Please be in the final next year. I'll be in the final.
Just his ticket here, Roger, please.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, what would this year?
Yeah. Thank you very much, Roger.
Last one. Thanks, Roger. Thanks, Roger. We love you. Thank you.
Thanks, man. Good job. Roger.
I have to go there. Last couple. I'm coming, okay? Yeah.
Thank you, Roger.
Thanks for coming, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Roger.
Thank you so much. Love you, man. All the best. All the best for the Australian Open.
All the best, Roger. Thank you, Roger. Good luck. Roger. Yes. Thank you, Roger. Yes. Roger.
Okay, last few guys.
I
love you. Oh, beauty. Thank you. Thank you for being so patient.
Roger, please. Roger, please, Roger. Roger. South America, Roger. Roger, South America, man.
Can you please sign my scrap piece of paper?
Thank you. Roger, come on, man.
Roger. Where is it? Thank you very much. Roger, wait. Stop me.
All right, last couple, okay?
The red one. Oh, God. Thank you so much. Can I have one, please? Thank you. He's right here. He's here. Roger. Thank you. Thank you. Please. I need another one of those. Roger. Roger, he's doing well. I love you. He's doing so well. I'll be back Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Roger. Awesome. Roger. Please.
Thank you.
Much as your eyes.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Great match, well done.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Can I ask you this question? What do you think you're going to fit here?
Yeah.
Roger Mel?
Come with the people, Roger.
Roger!
15 years, we love you, Rog. Love you.
Thank you. Thank you, Roger. That was awesome. Love you.
Is it right if you selfie?
Hello.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Enjoy it.
Lovely. Thank you.
Thanks for your support. Appreciate it, yeah.
Thank you, Roger!
Have a photo, please. Hey guys.
Amazing. Thanks for a great night. Another hug. Fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm a little sweaty, man.
I love it.
You've got on to Roger.
Good luck at the Aussie Open, Roger.
Roger.
Yeah. Okay, say hello,
Roger!
Roger!
Awesome.
Thank you.
Roger, over here, please.
Hey guys.
Roger. Please, Roger. Roger.
Thanks for your support, guys. Yeah, appreciate it. I'm happy you liked it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. It was fantastic.
Really,
First thing,
so happy.
5 hours from Miles,
Congratulations
from
on the
Brisbane
baby.
in Queensland
Yeah,
to come here
congratulations
just
on
to
the
see
baby.
you. Thank you. And that lady there's got some stuff from my hometown for you.
Okay.
Thank you.